A very good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to the Shanghai Singapore Hackathon Finals, jointly organized by SSBA and OSG.
大家下午好，欢迎来到上海新加坡黑客松总决赛。本次比赛由上海新加坡商会和 OSG 联合举办。
My name is Bart.
我是一心，我们将担任今天的主持人。
So before we carry on, I'm just going to give you guys a brief introduction and about the agenda we're going to have today. So today we're going to start off with the student category, let them do their presentations, and then we're going to have a 5 minutes break and come back for the open category. Okay, so now that's aside, let me introduce what is this hackathon actually about. With innovation and technology as the overarching theme, we essentially invited startups as well as students to come down and solve problems and problem statements from our case sponsors. So this hackathon, we are very proud to have Renew Material, BRAP, Dunkin Donuts, Newfin Data, Serbaya Jurong, Y3 Technologies as our core case sponsors.
那么呢，早在4月13号的时候，为期1周的黑客松比赛就以交流会的形式拉开了序幕。
So during the mixer sessions, the teams were able to not only identify the problem statements, but get to interact with the case sponsors, understand it further, and had mentors from InnoSpace, IPO Club, work with them to finally get the presentations that they're showing you today.
So what are these problem statements? Newfin Data is looking at ways to speed up the credit assessment process, while Serbaya Jurong and Dunkin Donuts look at how best to leverage technologies to enhance customer experience and boost sales.
That's right. And Renew Material is looking to find straw as an alternative form of wood. And BRAP is looking to find ways of quantifying user reputation systems. And lastly, Y3 Tech is looking how wholesalers can actually fulfill orders much faster and much more accurate way.
那么呢，在18号的半决赛当中啊，有10组脱颖而出，其中还有4组是昨晚从北京赶过来的。
But before we start off with our presentation, we have to first introduce our judges for today. So first off, let me introduce Ailing, the Divisional Director of China for Enterprise Singapore.
新加坡企业发展局中国司副司长林爱玲女士。
Next up, Wonka, the Head of Operations and Technology and CIO for OCBC Winghang, China.
华侨永亨银行中国营运与科技部总经理兼首席信息官王科先生。
Next, we have Mark Dragon, Vice President of SSBA and Executive Director of Supply Chain Angels.
上海新加坡商会副会长兼 Insane Ventures 执行总监盛明先生。
Next, we have Hu Kok Leong, Associate Director of NUS Suzhou Research Institute and Deputy Director of NUS Enterprise.
新国大苏研院产业化副院长兼国大企业副主任许国良先生。
Next, we have Oscar Ramos, Partner and Program Director at SOSV China Accelerator.
中国加速项目总监 Mr. Oscar Ramos。
And last but definitely not least, we have Maggie Jiang, General Manager for Touchstone Golden Investments.
上海点诚投资咨询有限公司总经理蒋玲女士。
So now let's just talk about the rules and regulations for today. So each team will have 5 minutes to do their presentation, following which they have a 3-minute Q&A. They will be told the time they have left at the 1-minute mark and the 30-second mark. After 5 minutes, we will kindly end your presentation.
So teams will be judged on several criteria, including identification and analysis of the problem, feasibility and execution, Q&A, as well as overall presentation. The top 3 teams for each category will be decided based on the average score across 7 judges.
That's right. So without further ado, let's introduce our first team in the student category. They are called the HES, a team of undergraduates from Peking University who are looking into the potential of using straw as an alternative form of wood. So without further ado, let's introduce the HES.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. This is Team HES presenting. My name is Haley. Together with me, I have Ibel, Shubo, and Sharon. We propose Renew Generation for our overall theme because this correlates with our target audience, which is Renew Material. Renew Material is a green tech company that specializes in the design, development, and manufacturing of green materials for wide range applications. Their product, agricultural straw, it's a good material that have much more advantageous over wood material. It is formaldehyde free, fire and water resistance, as well as it is durable. Basically, whatever wood does, we can do it even better. This is the structure of our presentation today. Firstly, we have categorized our target audience into two groups, home and work. Home includes tech-savvy generation, parents who are safety conscious, as well as families who have high purchasing power. For work, mainly focusing on schools as well as MNCs that are intending to go green. We concluded the target audience are mainly concerned with furnitures that are contain formaldehyde, as well as a generally negative perception about straw as a material. Therefore, we believe we can engage it in a three-pronged approach, which is namely rebrand, promote, and sustain. We think our strategy mainly begins from a furniture design competition that can rebrand our products, followed by an online engagement, and finally an offline engagement with our potential customers. The first stage of our competition is an estimated time frame of 2 months. We aim to cultivate a team with homegrown designers. They are largely made up of universities as well as design school students, and therefore this also correlates with our theme of renew generation. Stage 1 is extremely important for us to customize design, because we think ultimately we think that the market is going towards a green products, at the same time also going towards unique and customized design. So we believe under our strategy we will be able to fit to this market trend. Next, we will have Ibel to introduce stage 2.
Thank you. Now I'll be talking about stage 2, which is online engagement, and the estimated time frame is 2 months. So firstly, we aim to utilize digital marketing by engaging with key opinion leaders. And in this case, the KOLs that we are looking at are social media influencers who produces family-oriented content. One of which is 亲子教育第一课 on Weibo, who has a follower count of 4 million. And we aim to engage up to 5 to 10% of their followers. The strength of this is that it capitalizes on the fact that KOLs are currently a key source of information for young tech-savvy couples. Furthermore, we think that genuine and frank product reviews by these KOLs are able to convince consumers better than traditional forms of advertising. Next, we'll also be conducting a social experiment where we invite families on the street for touch and visual tests of our material. And in this process, we'll film it down and produce a promotional video. The strength of this is that it's able to actually provide a solution that directly targets some of our concerns, which is the negative perception of straw, through a hands-on experience. And also we feel that we are able to actually produce a creative yet low-budget promotional video to engage our audience. Now I'll pass on the time to Shubo.
So now I will introduce our stage 3, which is offline engagement, and the estimated time frame is 6 to 10 months. So we will be joining the全屋定制 sites and provide such survey with our store materials. Homepage customization is an all-in-one platform that provides service like furniture design, customization, and installment for consumers. And so I believe our product will have an advantage as it's safe and free from formaldehyde. And secondly, some of such sites include Xujia, which is the China's largest internet platform in 2007 with 50.2 million monthly unique visitors. And so there are 3 reasons why we are going to venture into this market. First, that we are able to reach our target consumers. And secondly, it fits in the current trend as the searching time on 全屋定制 on Baidu has increased greatly over the past few years. And lastly, 全屋定制 is a $700 billion market, which has the potential to continue expanding in the future. And currently, the first-tier cities are the driving force, and which we can focus on it first. So next, let's pass our time to Sharon.
Next is our green tour. We will we'll collaborate with branded kindergartens through educational trips, and this aligns with the recent trends of green education and addresses safety concerns by the parents. It is also a long-term engagement. Then we will be having a B2B collaborations, which we start with existing partners such as Volkswagen and Samsung, because we believe that these are partners that have previous experiences with the vaccine.
I'm sorry. Time is up. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we'd like to invite the team on the stage. Thank you. And judges, you can now proceed with your Q&A.
Hi, just a question. Did you actually speak to some of your, peers, social circle about this product? Did you try to get some feedback from the potential customer?
Thank you for your question. We actually did an informal market survey, like around our friends and like family members, and asked what are their perception on this. And we actually correlates like our strategy according to what are their needs and what are the things that they are looking out for when they're looking at furnitures. And we realized that, as what we have mentioned earlier, we concluded that their main concern are often regarding furnitures that contain formaldehyde. At the same time, they do suspect that the straw do actually provide as strong material as wood. So that is the part that we have to break through this stereotype in order for us to promote this material for them as a furniture. Thank you.
And to add on that, their general response is that they don't mind having this material as their furniture because they think this is their concerns of like safety and as well as like green environment, like going green. Yeah. So they don't mind paying more for this material as well.
Hi, question around there's a lot of activities that you propose, right? From B2B to social media activation, and there's 2 months and 5 months, 10 months, that kind of duration. Have you done any like ROI analysis or market perspective or study to basically say zoom down to which kind of activation actually makes sense from market size as well as ROI perspective?
Thank you for your question. We actually talked to our sponsors as well. We finally concluded that we can actually work this in concurrently as well as in multiple ways. So for example, for that competition, during the promotion period, we can also carry out our, for example, social experience that could actually reach out to that amount of people, which from previous case studies, we actually found out that they can actually reach out to people. I think when we have this concurrent marketing strategy that happens, you can maximize exposure as compared to if we only have a single line of experience. So we think that can maximize exposure.
And also in our problem statement, it stated that we have to introduce this product in 6 to 12 months, which is why in our last proposal, which we didn't manage to really elaborate on, we would first look at our current existing partners to actually first try to allow to actually work with them to create like furnitures for companies and just work furniture. After that, we'll actually move on to actually other partners because current partners have already like, used our material for other users. Yeah, thank you.
好，非常感谢的 Has。接下来，让我们欢迎即将上场的 Straws for Justice， 他们来自新加坡，希望助推 Renew Material 解决迫在眉睫的环境问题，一同为减缓全球气候变暖做出贡献。现在就让我们来聆听他们有何妙方，欢迎。
Testing. Good afternoon, judges. So my team and I from Straws for Justice will be presenting on our case study, Renew Material. So Renew Material is a company that specializes in the design and manufacturing of eco-friendly products, and they have won numerous awards over the years. Their current products consist of green pallets, packaging materials, and home furnishings. So they're currently looking at entering new target markets, and therefore we have identified 4 target markets: homes, co-working spaces, boutique hotels, and private training centers. So we have identified 2 challenges, and the first is the negative perceptions towards straw meat products. So there is a seemingly low adoption rate for straw meat products due to the perceived notions of material inferiority as compared to traditional wood constructions, as well as the people being unable to identify the true value of straw meat products. Therefore, the solution is to launch an all-exclusive interactive showroom. So first is the product and design aesthetics. So this is the concept that we have created of how the showroom will look like in a home setting. So this is how the people, the visitors who go into the showroom will be able to experience the textures, the feel of the surroundings of how a home coupled with straw meat products will look like. The second is highlighting product design and aesthetics. First is complementary. How straw-made products can be complementary to its surroundings and therefore blend in with its surroundings, as well as being able to be contrasting with its environment, and therefore being unique and stand out. The second is the incorporation of create your own interior VR application. So visitors can customize a fully immersive experience through VR applications, and they have the choice to create their own customized and personalized product through our application that we provide on the during the showcase. So the next is to engage audiences through building a pop-up straw structure. So this concept will increase visitor engagement and to initiate conversations about straw products in general. The last is an example of a fully functional eco-friendly working space. So this is a promotional showcase event for people to experience like what an actual working space filled with these products will feel like. It's cheap to organize and it's free to attend for visitors. And it will be partnered with actual co-working spaces such as WeWork to utilize its experience and expertise in hosting such events. So Renew Material can showcase their products through design, sight, and touch using this showroom. So these are the target segments that we feel like they will be interested in our showroom.
Okay, so moving on to our next challenge identified. So we realized that actually corporates tend to have a long sales and acceptance cycle, especially incorporating straw-based materials into their operations. So the reason for this is because there's a need for a lot of one-to-one pitching with key executives in the company. And our solution for this is actually to create a industry-specific digital brochure and catalogs. So within this catalogs, they'll be focused on three main content. So the first will be on corporate social responsibility. So this section will actually highlight the green benefits of actually incorporating straw-based materials into your company's operations. And secondly will be about the case studies of past companies who have actually incorporated these straw-based materials into the operations. So some of these examples are like L'Oreal and Samsung. And the third will be actually highlighting the awards and certifications that Renew Materials have had in the past. So we hope that with condensing all this information into easily readable, bite-sized information, it will increase the brand awareness and value of Renew Materials, as well as educate the public about, especially corporations, about the green benefits of straw-based materials. Okay, so we have actually identified three industries which we want to go into. The first being co-working spaces. So Renew Materials will be able to develop office furniture which are not only environmentally friendly, but spatially aesthetics as well. And the next is actually boutique hotels. So Renew Materials will be able to develop furniture which are not only cheaper than traditional wood and materials, but provide an aesthetic sense to the hotel as well. And the last will be private training centers. So Renew Materials will be able to provide chairs, tables, ceilings, and everything made of straw-based products. And
I'm sorry, that's all the time we have. Team members, could you kindly make your way onto the stage, please?
Okay, so now we'll move on to the Q&A.
So have you ever figured out what's the potential market share or sales revenue you are going to achieve with this kind of solution you propose?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
So where you are promoting a solution to boom the sales or adoption of this new material. So with all kinds of these solutions you proposed, what's the market share or sales revenue? Increase the sales revenue. This plan can help the company to achieve.
Okay, for our first solution, which is the interactive showroom, right? Well, we didn't actually really do a proper market research on the feasibility of it. How we actually got the inspiration of the idea was actually through conversations with our case sponsor. So his plan was actually to launch something along the lines of it. So we thought that, you know, instead of coming up with something brand new, why not we leverage on something that, you know, the company has already, you know, thought into like, okay, this can work. And then yeah, we actually just kind of add on to what can make it even more interesting in a sense. So we kind of, yeah, so that's kind of our validation in a sense. And then, yeah, then for the sales brochure, we did a proper market validation as well, but then we thought that, the solution was based on the fact that we want to kind of reduce the sales time needed in terms of one-on-one pitching.
And in that point, we have this industry-specific brochures because we feel like we might not be able to shorten the length of the sales cycles, but what we can do is increase the length of the number of sales cycles. That's why we have identified new target markets, right? For identifying new markets, and we can show them all these benefits that they can have. So example is like why we chose private training centers is because as compared to public schools, we cannot possibly reduce their acceptance cycles because they have to go through numerous hierarchies like going to Ministry of Education, Finance, and then so on and so forth. So we feel like these kind of very specific industries like private training centers as a whole, like our proposals are all industries that we see high potential in it. So we feel like this is the way to go.
Right. The question I have is that you propose a couple of partners that you can work with. The question I have specifically would be that what will make these partners accept this new material, especially when your material is actually more expensive in terms of the total cost to their operation?
I'm sorry, that's all the time that we have. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, so next up, we're going to introduce the next team. They call themselves the Wildcats. With their motto, get your head in the game, they will be working hard to solve DREP's problem statement, which is essentially to help decentralize reputation.
So in 2016, Russian agents spread controversial news that reached over 126 million users with the intent to sow discord in the US presidential elections. Yet closer to home, WeChat actually blocked over 500 million fake stories in 2017. However, these aren't isolated cases. Rather, they are part of a rising trend of fake news spreading, which is only set to increase as we shift towards social media. Good evening, panelists. We are Team Wildcats. So for today's presentation, we are breaking down into 4 specific areas, namely understanding the problem, quantifying reputation, the reward mechanism, and lastly, how we monetize the whole plan. So for understanding the problem, we've identified 3 areas: the fake army phenomenon, the passive community, and misinformed public, which are the root causes, which we'll seek to address using user authentication, and lastly, incentivizing engagement. So now the question lies, how do we quantify reputation?
Thank you, Kevin. So how do we quantify reputation? We quantify reputation in 4 different layers, namely online behavior, content contribution, user authenticity, and machine learning. So the factors that you see here are how we use to quantify reputation. So here we have a scenario. We have bots, John a malicious user, Sally a passive user, and Jet an active contributor. So whenever you're new to the DREP platform, you are required to submit personal details. So this makes it very hard for bots to get through this layer, and as a result, they fall out. So we have three users who are new. They submit their personal details, and they are welcome to the DREP platform. So they start with the bronze tier. But what if John is a malicious user? If John is a malicious user, he gets flagged out on a consistent basis, and he moves to what we call a cold tier, where rewards are restricted to him for extended period of time. So Sally is a passive user. She doesn't like to contribute to the community. She doesn't comment or like. So that's where online behavior and content contribution comes in. So she realizes that her friend, Jet, contributes and gets incentives, and she moves to the silver tier. So she realizes that if she puts in more contribution, she gets to get better incentive, and she does that. But Jet is a really active contributor. He likes to flag out negative content and provide quality comments. And as a result, he goes to the gold tier. Without further ado, I'll pass it on to John.
All right, thank you, Douglas. So Douglas actually explained to us the trophy system. So right now we're going to go over how you guys can actually get some payouts from contributing to the system. All right, so over here we have the Drab logo. So just click on that. This is a plugin on the Facebook platform. So just log in and something happens. So what changed? Basically, over here you can see your trophy and your score. So your trophy is actually your past week's contribution, and your score is actually your current week's score. So how do you increase your current week's score? Is by liking, commenting, and or sharing. So it's anything that contributes to the Facebook platform. All right, so next up you will see actually mini trophies beside your friends' names. So what are these mini trophies? They are actually your friend's reputation status. All right, so when you click onto the wallet, what happens? You get the Drab token. So this is actually what we're gonna pay out our users when they contribute to the platform. All right, so how does our payout system work? So it's actually a weekly reward system. So in essence, your trophy status is actually a multiplier effect. So it's multiplied by your current score to get your Drab tokens. So the higher your trophy status, the more Drab tokens you actually earn. All right, so the next question will be, do my trophy status actually keep on increasing? Does my current score keep on increasing? The answer is no, due to our unique rollback feature. So assuming you are a user and you get bronze in April, gold in May, and gold in June, what will happen? We'll take an average. All right, so assuming you have a 900 score, what will happen is we will roll you back. And the reasons for this rollback is, well, firstly, new users will not be placed at such a significant disadvantage. Secondly, long-term contribution. If you're being rolled back a tier, you want to work hard to go back to your current tier to earn more Drab tokens. And the last one is to keep gold users in check from exploiting our system. Hand over the time to Phoebe.
So Drab will be usable not just on Facebook, but also applicable to other platforms such as content and e-commerce. So Drab has 3 revenue streams. So firstly, users will be able to purchase detailed reputation information. Secondly, Drab can profit from the sale of its proprietary software. And lastly, we can profit from Drab's token price appreciation. So in conclusion, we've gone through reputation quantification, token mechanisms, as well as monetization. But what are we really trying to achieve through a digital reputation system? We are trying to get rid of bots as well as malicious users through a digital reputation system, and as such, achieve a more connected, trustworthy, and engaged internet community.
Sincere apologies. Okay, thank you. That was great. That was just on time. Wow. Wow, that was incredible. Okay, so guys, can you kindly go on stage, please? Thank you.
Okay, so just in terms of feasibility, you put some platforms there that they have limitations in terms of accessing data from users. Have you done any type of feasibility study in terms of can you actually extract that data and push that data into the networks?
You can actually refer to our appendix, because on the last slide we have all the factors quantifying reputation. So yeah, and we have like on the appendix there's something we use to extract the API as well. Yeah, to address that situation.
Yeah, so it's some of the factors we can actually extract from the API itself publicly. So actually, when you see the full suite of the factors over there, so some of these are not on the API, so which requires some partnership with Facebook, or let's say with Facebook itself. But majority, let's say the likes, comments, and shares, you can actually plug it out from the API itself. Thank you. Does that answer the question? Thank you.
Question on scalability and encouraging usage, right? So what are the specific thoughts around that in terms of scaling it out and encouraging usage of the platform itself?
So sorry, is it possible to repeat your question?
Okay, what is your answer around how do you scale out and encourage users using the platform to get extra tokens and those kind of stuff, right?
All right. Thank you for the question. So for scalability, you see that we actually focus on Facebook first because Facebook has the most amount of user base. So actually, right, the Drag plugin is not a platform specific kind of plugin. So you can actually put this plugin into like social media platforms, e-commerce platforms, content platforms, and tool platforms. So actually, in terms of scalability, we aim to actually target the big players. So it's basically Facebook to the audience with the user base first, followed by e-commerce, because that's where you can actually put real token utility to real case usage for our tokens as well. So you can actually trade your tokens in-house. For example, if you partner with Taobao, so you can actually use our tokens to actually maybe get discounts or actually get angpaos from that for real case usage for our tokens. Thank you.
Sorry, there's still time for one more question. 30 seconds left.
I mean, just curious, right? Can this actually overcome the potential of AI? Like, they're all potentially fake user.
So I understand that AI is actually one of the ways most social media platforms aim to solve the fake news issue. However, what we are trying to tap on is not AI, but rather humans' judgment, because ultimately AI is still trained with people's judgment.
Sorry, time is up. Thank you so much. 非常感谢这么具有活力朝气的 Wildcats。那么接下来呢，让我们来掌声有请 Let's Go。他们是新加坡南洋理工和国立大学共同组成的跨界队伍。他们所提出的解决方案，旨在为品牌资产打造情感联想。那么呢，也希望让 Dunkin Donuts 的咖啡体验可以成为消费者心目中的头条榜单。掌声有请。
We are Team Let's Go Dunkin. I am Daphne,
Sihui,
Isaac,
and Yingshen.
Today, we are so excited to share with you our idea that will be the Dunkin Donut consumer coffee strategy that will become an effective culture. But first, let us meet May. May represents our engaged and sociable Chinese millennials who loves to be engaged as part of their society. What is important to them is to belong to a certain tribe and to express themselves creatively. May is also our ideal Dunkin Donut consumer. So our consumer insights have shown that China's booming coffee market stems from the success of creating culture, such as the Korean film-like romance that we see in Korean stores, as well as the Western and sophisticated image of Western culture, such as Starbucks. So our team have actually realized this situation and want to create a brand that resonates with the Chinese consumers, which is why this is our strategy today.
To begin, when people think about Dunkin Donuts, they think unhealthy, fat, and lazy. We want to tackle that. We want to bring in association to being your most carefree self. In order to do that, we'll launch a new and seasonal menu that promotes healthy, shareable, everyday indulgences. From our secondary research, we found out that Chinese local consumers prefer fruits and tea, which is why our menu will focus primarily on guilt-free, bite-sized baked donuts that are complementary to Dunkin Donuts beverages. As we all know, life to May is just like a box of donuts. She loves to be part of and share anything new and exciting. In actual fact, 60% of millennials love to share their food online. We want to leverage on that. Hence, our packaging is designed to be aesthetic, customizable, and hassle-free. We want to evoke an emotional association of Dunkin Donuts to fun and guilt-free.
So we understand that daily products require triggers to spark cravings. So we want to dominate our consumers' indulgence and spread the sphere of influence. So we will be adopting a WeChat account for our content updates, as well as have an app that's very interactive to promote ordering on the go, as well as to share on the go. To order on the go, they can choose the pickup option as well as the delivery option. And further, they can even customize their cup sleeve with the mood option as well as the cold options. And additionally, we will have an AI that will integrate and understand what our consumers want, as well as recommend to them what they usually like. Next, to share on the go, users can also send free drinks to their friends. Users can also send ad invites to their friends to get more drinks, as well as get multi-card orders. And effectively, we will be using this through a pop-up stores concept to gain offline presence, as well as to gain operational excellence.
Well, on average, app retention in China is only 18%. We want to do better than that. How do we do so? Firstly, gamification. So we will incentivize use through the use of credits, merchandise tokens, as well as crazy rewards, which will incentivize hype. Next, store vacancy tracking. So the idea is that this will allow us to generate key consumer insights, as well as distribute traffic flow. Now, finally, time sales. It will excite and encourage purchase.
Our campaigns will be interesting, fun, and quirky. For awareness, we will make use of social media as well as key opinion leaders to do a viral content which will create curiosity and buzz online. For consideration, we will infiltrate WeChat conversations with an augmented reality game in metros where commuters can tap and collect emoji stickers with their phone interface. For purchase, we will launch sales offline and online. And in terms of advocacy, we will retain users with our enhancement features on our app as well as our loyalty program.
The attentional span of a person is 9 seconds. Rich media will be used to capture the attention span of Chinese local consumers. Hence, our RMC Viral Video Challenge campaign aims to encourage people to upload their content on a user-generated content platform and showcase their talents. The theme will revolve around chasing ambitions and staying true to oneself to show that Dunkin Donuts supports youth in pursuing their dreams and staying real. The videos will be ranked according to engagement, and participants will stand a chance to win an exclusive trip with Dunkin Donuts to incentivize them. These are our different marketing channels in China that we'll leverage on to kick off our marketing campaign.
Generally, we're looking at, if this goes successful, we're looking at a 3 times increase in market share.
So beyond the well-integrated platform, we will also be investing in the CSR recycling initiative that will utilize a smart bin concept.
This is a letter to my youthful self. Laugh, cry, and eat well.
Be honest and forgiving to yourself.
Embrace your youth.
Chase your ambitions and stay true to yourself.
You are deserving of happiness.
Let's go,
Dunkin.
If you all have any questions, we have our appendix to showcase our actionables, because we understand that we are unable to showcase everything within 5 minutes, so feel free to ask us some questions.
Okay. In the case, there was a statement around there being a digital marketing campaign run prior to this by Dunkin Donuts, right, in China. And there's a poor orchestration thing that hampered sales performance. So what are you doing differently versus what has been done before to be able to get the kind of results that you're putting up?
So to answer your question, what we're really looking at is the online to offline strategy to actually be very seamless in terms of interactions for consumers. So the first thing that we want to do is to first change negative associations tied to Dunkin Donuts, which is fat, unhealthy, and lazy, as mentioned by my teammate over here. So with that, we'll bring in positive associations. And in terms of what is different, what we're looking at is seamless UI UX interaction as seen from our app, and as well as the total domination that we want to be a part of. So what we really want to portray and to do is actually be a part of their growing life. So like when you look at our IMC, it shows everything about that. It will also have pop-up stores that will complement this strategy.
You're suggesting a lot of things to do, from changing product to building new stuff. Have you done an evaluation of the cost implications for all of that?
Yeah, we do. So let me just spread around the sheet. Let me just go to the financials. Yeah, so in terms of the cost, you can see, so right now we know the non-incremental cost. So non-incremental cost is cost that already exists in Dunkin Donuts structure. So the rest of it, we take a rough estimation, where how it's going to work. So menu and packaging is, we categorize under R&D. That's about 30% of the non-incremental cost. The rest of it is, we make a rough gauge. Then for CSR, so we know the numbers because we've done some market research on, plastic bins and sensors, what they cost. And yeah, so in terms of the cost breakdown, revenue breakdown, it's all here. I think it's safe to say it's a solid breakdown. Yes.
How much will cost your AI app for WeChat?
How much cost your AI app on WeChat? Yeah, that would be
That'll be part of our IMC. So actually, the part about the AR is actually to bring them to our WeChat official account so that they can follow it. So in terms of justification, we feel that it is required to get the hype really moving and get it involved and be a part of it. Because like we said, our millennials are engaged, they're sociable, and they like interesting things. So also to answer a part of it, like the part where we say we will launch a new product as well as new packaging, this will actually be a seasonal product, which will be part of the marketing as well. Yeah.
How much?
How much? So 1/3 of the 20th of IMC.
23K?
23K, yes.
I'm sorry, out of time. Thank you. All right, guys, so that was a great presentation. Next up, we have Team Glazed. They're going to show their version of what they call the ultimate Dunkified solution, and they'll be working to reposition Dunkin Donuts to achieve global success in China.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Glazed. This is Donut, and he is Dragon.
What's up, Donuts? How's everything?
Not too great.
What's wrong?
It's with my boyfriend Coffee. He just doesn't seem to fit in with everyone here.
Was that why you left the past 2 times?
Kind of, but this time we are back and determined to make it bigger.
What are your plans?
People like our convenience in US and South Korea. We hope the people in China like us too.
So Dunkin Donuts re-entered China in 2015 and it has stores now in Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenyang. So our vision for Dunkin Donuts is to continue providing affordable donuts and to focus on beverages. The main reason for this is because donuts is still getting popularity in China and we find there's more potential growth. And for drinks, we've realized there's very high profit margins, so we hope to continue the growth of it.
But people last time said that I was too sweet for their liking.
So when analyzing Dunkin Donuts, we realized 3 main reasons why it did not succeed in the past was because it had insufficient brand awareness and it did not maximize the use of digital platforms and their localization of taste did not really appeal to youth. So for our strategy, we are aiming at local university students aged 18 to 25, and they love social media and anything that is unique and in trend. Their major pain point is that they're unable to find good and cheap coffee substitutes that has the social experience. So where we hope that Dunkin Donuts can come in is by providing good coffee at affordable price, as well as providing this social experience, and as well as a very pleasant physical experience when they visit the stores. So our strategy is called Dunkin Donuts, and it consists of 2 parts, outreach and branding.
So for outreach, our main outreach will be this annual carnival held on International Coffee Day. So this year's International Coffee Day is held on 29 September, and our carnival is planned to be held at places with high student traffic, such as Wudaokou for Beijing and Wujiaochang for kids in Shanghai. So for this year's International Coffee Day Carnival, we will be having this human claw machine, where customers have to purchase 1 beverage to stand a chance to go for the human claw machine. And everything that they catch from the claw machine, be it merchandises or vouchers, will be their gifts that they can walk away with. That reminds me, when we were in South Korea, we got to work with really cute characters.
Wow, I love cute characters too.
So the next part of our outreach will be partnerships. We will be having partnerships with key opinion leaders, which are people that millennials look up to, such as this young man dunking a donut over here, and student ambassadors, which are our friends from our own schools, and very cute WeChat sticker characters, such as these popular characters from Star Movie, as well as sponsoring student events. Even though our partnership may be one-off, and maybe it might only last for a few months, but every year during our carnival, we can invite our partners back to celebrate our success with Dunkin Donuts with them.
So we also propose that Dunkin Donuts improves the aesthetics of their products. We propose a zero-cost aesthetics rearrangement, and we propose a donut chino, donut frap, and donut on a stick with already existing products. This is because Chinese youth actually really like posting pictures of food that they eat, and their friends often ask for recommendations as well, and this would be the best form of advertisement for Dunkin Donuts for our target audience.
Oh, I know this WeChat group. Are you guys in it?
No, but we actually have an app, you know.
Why don't you turn the app into a mini program instead?
Seems like we have to work on it.
So the main difference between a mini program and an app is that a mini program takes up much less space, only 1 megabyte, and also it's a lot easier and cheaper to create. So we propose, this is our proposed interface, and we have O2O experience whereby users can order online and then pick up in store, and games whereby they can play with their friends in order to earn discounts or free products, as well as personalization of drinks, whereby the top 3 most popular drinks that are personalized will be debuted every year at the International Coffee Day. And alarm clock, whereby if they snooze it within 1 minute, then users can either get discounted or free morning coffee.
All right, so moving on to our final recommendation, we propose that Dunkin Donuts have a vending machine that can be held around student campuses. So we'd like to tap on the fact that there are 10-minute lesson breaks in China. So students find that there's insufficient time for them to head down to physical stores to actually make these quick purchases. So by having a Dunkin vending machine that has donuts and coffee, we will be able to match what the consumers want, which is convenience, and to help them relieve the pain of not being able to get this quick purchase, quick bite. So how we measure the effectiveness of our strategies, we actually have the metrics such as sales, retention rates, number of views, using surveys, as well as conversion rate. So this is our proposed timeline. Everything is centered around a coffee day. So these 3 phases, and they are synergized. So our pre-coffee day will start in June. We'll have the student ambassadors and partnerships to help us generate the buzz for the coffee day. The coffee day will have the launch of the donut products, donut coffee products, and we'll have users let them try the new features of the mini program. And then post-coffee day, we'll see the launch of the vending machines. So all in all, we have come up with the ultimate Dunkifying solution, which focuses on a very specific group of audience and will help Dunkin Donuts raise awareness, allow users to have a fully integrated digital physical experience, allow them to acquire new users, and allow them to maximize retention. So our strategy is actually it's more okay. So if there's one thing we want you to remember from our presentation, it is that we have come up with the ultimate Dunkifying solution by rebranding Dunkin Donuts as a fun and vibrant brand.
已经结束了，谢谢。
We have given Dunkin Donuts away to win in tomorrow's market.
好，非常感谢这一组。那么现在有请评委提问。
All right, so sorry. And my name is Jingying. This is Kelvin. That's Faye. That's Wency, and we are from Team Glazed.
Hi. Thanks. I think you all exhibit a lot of passion in this presentation. Yeah. The question I have is that it seems that the problem statement is about increasing sales through beverages and also the donuts. So it seems that you only focus on coffee. Is that deliberate kind of thing? Or?
Right, because we realized that coffee is something that Starbucks has done really well in entering China market, and we want to ride in this way. And because we're looking at how donuts and coffee is a very good match, what we realized amongst our friends, our peers in China is that exposure for Dunkin Donuts is not very high. So if you just focus on coffee, it's a lot easier for you to break into the market, especially for students when you have sleepless nights and you really need something to pick you up. And this coffee is a way because we are looking at students, and students are essentially looking for something good and cheap. And if you can get them to come onto Dunkin Donuts, it will translate to sales in other products as well. So that's why you choose coffee, because it's cheap and it's effective.
Also because actually in the problem statement, it says that they want to increase sales through beverages. And Dunkin Donuts actually specializes in coffee, although like in the name it says donuts. So it's something that we hope to help them capitalize on, and also because the profit margins are much higher than that of donuts.
Have you done any market studies or market validation for your Dunkachino?
For the Dunkachino, right? Actually, like we actually had this mini experiment whereby we bought like normal donuts in the bag and the drinks, right? Then we went and we assembled our own Dunkachino because it's zero cost rearrangement, right? So we went around asking our friends, which one do you like better? It's actually essentially the same thing, but then like they realized that they told us that, oh, Dunkachino is more, they like it, they like to see it on social media better. Like it looks better on their Pengyo Chuan. Yeah.
Have you actually tried eating/drinking it? Is it
Yes,
difficult?
yes, it was convenient because we had a lot of things. We were working on this and we just ate it off our cup. Yeah, it was fun.
So what happened was that when brainstorming, we actually went to the Dunkin Donuts store, and what we did was we bought a cup of iced coffee and we bought a glazed donut to see whether it works out. And it's actually quite useful, and it's not very pretty because we haven't done the decoration yet, but it's functional. Yeah.
And then people were staring at us.
Okay, I just want to say that, yeah, I do feel like eating after seeing your presentation.
Thank you.
So you mentioned this idea of the vending machines for students during the breaks. Do you know how much they spend in average during these days?
For instance, when I look at the queues, they are probably spending the coffee is probably 6 to 7 yuan if you're looking at the schools because it can't be too expensive. And for the vending machine, what we are doing this is because exposure. We understand that Dunkin Donuts actually has instant coffee, but it's not doing very well because the exposure is not there. We hope that by bringing it to schools, you are bringing them closer students and they will be more incentivized to try it out. Yeah, so we imagine like if you're going to sell in school, it's going to be probably at a slightly cheaper price in the market, like 1 to 2 years cheaper. Yeah.
好，非常感谢。我知道呢，虽然我们大家都有那么一点点肚子饿了，但是我们还是要欢迎最后一组。那么现在呢，我们就欢迎来自华东师范大学心理学系的赛九剑仙。他今天呢，将就如何优化金融产业供应链，了解客户，加速 KYC 流程，给出自己的真知灼见。显然，他们不只要探索人类的内心世界，更是要挑战商界。掌声有请。
大家好，我们是来自中国的 PSY 九剑仙队。那么我们要解决的问题呢，是来自 Newfin Data 公司，就是提出一个创新的解决方案和一个新型的信用计分模型，来加速 KYC 流程。那么 KYC 流程呢，是指 Know Your Customer， 就是金融机构融资过程中的一个重要的组成部分。那么现在的 KYC 传统的流程呢，它有很多涉及到手工和文书的一些部分，所以非常的繁琐。另外，因为传统的一个信用评估过程一般都是对大型的企业比较有利，那么中小型的企业由于缺少信用记录，所以很难得到一些融资。但是呢，我国拥有5600万的一个中小企业，从 GDP、税收和就业率的指标上来说，他们对中国的经济都是非常重要的。然而呢，根据权威机构的估算，我国中小企业的一个融资需求大概有27万亿，而实际能够提供的融资供给呢只有15万亿，这中间就有12万亿的一个缺口。同时，中小企业的一个贷款的利率常常高达20%到24%。那么，为了去解决中小企业融资难、融资贵的问题，供应链金融就应运而生了。那么，我相信在座的各位可能或多或少对供应链金融是有一点了解的。供应链金融就是指金融机构呢围绕核心企业来控制上下游企业的物流和资金流，把不可控的单个企业的融资风险转化为可控的整个供应链的风险，这样最大程度化的去降低融资的风险。那么我们来看看供应链金融是如何做到去比传统银行更加降低融资风险的。首先是在信用信息这一块，传统银行更加偏好去使用独立单个的企业的信用信息，而供应链金融呢是更加会去使用供应链中的核心企业和中小企业之间真实的贸易信息来进行评估。然后在担保物选择上，传统银行更多的是用不动产来做担保物，而供应链金融更多是使用应收账款，还有未来的货权和存货来做一个担保物的。最后呢，是在信用风险的一个评估上，传统银行更多是只关注单个企业的非系统性风险，而供应链金融它会关注整个供应链链条上的可控的一个系统性的风险，以及和核心企业之间的一个信用的捆绑支持。好，那根据刚才我们说的这些，其实大家都可以推断出，那么要进行供应链金融的业务，需要有一个平台，这也是我们小组所提出的一个解决方案，也就是在客户和核心企业以及供应商之间去建立一个云平台，把他们的订单和发票都输入到这个平台上。那么我们是用一个自动化输入的一个过程来减少我们手工录入的繁琐。同时，我们把这些信息录入到这个平台之后呢，自动化的进行一个计算和监控，然后把分析出来的一些信用的指标去传递给我们的融资机构，帮助他们做出正确的融资决策。好，那么在建立了这样的一个云平台之后，我们可以收集到来自整个供应链上下游的 信息。那么这些信息有了这些信息，我们要如何去做一个信用的评级呢？这就是我们小组提出的一个风控的模型。那么根据不同方面信息的重要度来给他们分配不同的权重。那么接下来我会一项一项的解释。首先，第一项是外部环境，我们给它的权重是0.127。那么大家都知道，政府对于企业的提供的政策环境和一些配套支持，都是对企业的发展有非常大的作用的。所以，我们从政策环境和行业景气度2个方面来对外部环境做出一个评分。第二方面是中小企业的素质，我们给它的权重呢是0.473。那么我们会从管理者的素质和管理水平来做出一个基本素质的评估，这一项是定性和定量相结合的。然后接下来的财务指标包括了偿债能力、营运能力、盈利能力和成长能力，这些财务指标都是一些
非常
定量的
不好意
指标。
思，时间已经到了。那么现在有请评委提问。
因为还没有介绍完，所以我想再给我一点点时间，把它剩下来一点点说完，好吗？可以吗？第4个是供应链的关系的状况，然后我们通常是用合作时间、合作频率和合作价值来评估的。然后最后一项第4项是核心企业的素质，我们是根据它的主体的信用级别以及运营状况来做出一个评分。然后最后一项就是融资项下的资产状况，保证说如果出现了问题，
不好意思，时间真的到了。请问评委有任何的提问吗？
我想要问一下，你们现在推荐的那个 Credit Score 的模式，跟原来的 Credit Score 的模式有什么区别？
不好意思，重复一下，谢谢。
你们现在推荐的 Credit Score，有什跟不同的 Credit Score 的模式有什么区别？
我们现在推出的这个信贷的模式是和原来传统的银行的模式相比呢，我们是更加注重供应链中，就是利用供应链中真实的贸易信息来做出信贷的评级的，而原来的模式它更多的是注重就是一些不动产来做抵押，特别是在中国的金融环境下，其实很多的银行他们不会去看你的交易信息来说，哎，我可以借钱给你，而是他会看说你有多少房产，你有多少物资，你有多少实际的东西，我才借钱给你。所以我们这个是针对中国目前的金融环境，我们做出了一个创新。这个模式应该来讲，在我们中国目前的银行业还是比较新的。
从那个供应链融资的角度去看，我们银行现在可以通过这个 anchor company 拿它的上下游的发票，交易的那个所有的单据都可以拿到。那现在我相信那个 problem statement 里面写的主要是 KYC menu 比较多。第二，这些 document 的这些缺的那些文档，还有那些发票是真的还是假的，我们可能要自己去 verify。但是你刚才 propose 这个 solution， 把东西由企业各自输入在云上。我坦白讲，并没有看出怎么解决我刚才讲的一个我们银行所面临的在做供应链融资中遇到的问题。因为它输在云上和它交给我银行，我还是要去 verify。它的是真的还是假的？而且 KYC， 我还是要去做我们银行的 KYC。
对。我知道您提出的一个问题就是可能对这个输在平台上的信息的真实度，你要怎么去确保？那其实我们刚才这个平台你也看到了，是可以连接上下游，可以连接很多的企业。那我们现在也知道，最近有一个区块链的技术非常的火热，它的意思就是把所有的信息我们分点去存储，那么这样在每一份信息，在每一个企业，它都是有个备份的。所以一旦你有某个企业想要造假，那么别的企业它就会知道说，你这个信息出了问题，你跟我这里对应不上，信息不匹配。那么通过这个区块链的技术的应用，我们就可以去解决这个问题。然后现在那个 Newfin Data 公司他们目前的推出的这个 Nemo 平台，也就是在着力于用区块链的技术来解决您刚才所提出的这个问题。这是在未来可以见到会落地去推广的。
这个明白，就是其实你要用整个社会都去用同一种相同的区块链技术，你这个所谓的云上的这个 solution 才能行之有效。所以 坦白说，就像你要有个高铁，首先你有个高铁网络建好了以后，你的火车才能跑。就是我刚才想的，就在今天我们或往下6个月的时间里面，怎么如果使用你们的 solution， 怎么来解决我们的 KYC 里面的问题？这个其实就是我刚才比较关心的，因为区块链尤其整个社会有统一一种区块链技术，还不是近期内可以发生的一件事情。
应该说这个的确是未来的一个趋势，但是我们可以先通过在某个行业具体的行业里面先去应用起来，然后再慢慢的去推广。但是我相信这是未来的中国商业社会应该都会更加青睐这种整体的。
I'm sorry, thank you. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much.
谢谢。
So with that, we have come to the end of the student presentation segment, and we'll move on to the open category later. So right now, we'll take a 5 minutes break. There are refreshments outside, and we'll kindly request that everybody come back and sit on your seats by 4:45. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, thank you so much. Welcome back to our hackathon finals. Right now, we'll be moving on to the corporate side and the startup presentation, where we have 4 teams pitching to our judges with a top prize of 40,000 RMB. So, woohoo! Okay. Next, we're going to be introducing DropChain, which is tackling Y3 Technologies' problem statement through a gamified incentive system. So let's welcome DropChain.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Billy, and I'm very excited to be here today to tell you our solution for Y3 Technologies' case challenge. More specifically, we're going to discuss how we're going to drive transparency and traceability in the global supply chains. I just realized I have no clicker. There you go. Perfect. So global supply chains have always had issues. You've seen it over the last 10 years, whether it's fake olive oil, cow meat being disguised as really horse meat, or even wine, where in China, 70% of wine is actually fake, and 30% of alcohol is also fake as well. And that's a scary number to know, because in reality, a lot of supply chains are dark, murky, and frankly, there's a lot of bad things going on. So how do we actually help Y3 Technology drive that clarity? How do we actually help them drive that transparency in their supply chain system? And most importantly, how do we actually integrate brands, LSPs, retailers, distributors, and wholesalers all under one unified, cloud-centric, fast, and transparent SaaS platform? That's our challenge for today. Now, before we can talk about a solution, we have to understand the problems that we're going to tackle for Y3. And there's 3 of them. The first one is transparency. There's supply chain systems all around the world, but all of them don't know how to tackle transparency correctly. Because the problem with transparency is most don't realize that supply chains are still inherently human-driven. So what that means is people in supply chains need to be incentivized to do certain jobs to help you drive that transparency. If you don't incentivize them, they're not going to do that job. It's really that simple. Next is data fragmentation. So in a typical supply chain, you have, for instance, Y3, that's they use an ERP system, and the next guy down the chain, he's using an Excel database, and the next person down there is using pen and paper. Problem is, all these are independent data silos, and they don't share data. So what happens is, it leads you to the next problem, which is traceability. So I can hold a bottle of cognac in my hands. That's easy, but that doesn't really tell me much. It could say it's real, but the problem is you can't trace that bottle back to its provenance, back to where it came from. And in order for a supply chain to be truly trusted, you must have traceability within its DNA. So how can we actually solve this problem? I'm proud to present DropChain. DropChain is an end-to-end supply chain ecosystem that's going to drive transparency within all supply chains. We're going to integrate LSPs and all key stakeholders across a given supply chain. And what we're going to do is put them all onto one unified cloud-centric platform. And not only that, we're going to leverage something that's truly unique, a gamified incentive protocol that leverages blockchain technology. Our solution doesn't only impact distributors. We also impact brands. So brands now also have full clarity in our supply chain system to see their products move from end to end, from beginning to end. And not only that, end consumers can now track their goods, their bottle of wine from grape to glass, giving them that trust that they need. And in terms of features, DropChain system pretty much mimics all of Y3's requirements. But most importantly, what makes us stand out is our gamified incentive structure. So I've talked a lot of tech stuff. How does it actually work? So if you look at a traditional supply chain on the left, what happens is as you move down the supply chain, you'll notice that transparency and traceability is gone. Why? Because most distributors refuse to cooperate because you're not paying them. They're not incentivized to do any extra work for you to drive that transparency. Whereas DropChain's technology, what we're going to do is we're partnering with brands who are going to put funds within our DropChain ecosystem that will strategically distribute across the supply chain. And at that point, we're going to do it in an incentivized, gamified, dynamic manner so that we can actually drive full transparency in a given supply chain. So how would we actually integrate with Y3? Quite simple. So Y3 already has a fully built out supply chain ecosystem. That's okay. So do 1,000 other companies out there. What's going to separate Y3 from the rest of the competitors? It's actually DropChain. We can integrate our technology directly into their existing supply chain ecosystem so that they can also leverage an incentivized, gamified protocol within their own supply chain to make their system more robust and more useful for their customers. And by doing so, we could become one happy family. Yeah. And for brands that are on their own, what happens is they also want their own ecosystem, and we're rebuilding that out from beginning to end. And lastly, we have a full team. Our team's full of brilliant engineers and game designers who understand the concepts of gamification, blockchain, marketing, and development. So we believe that there's a lot of potential for DropChain's technology to revolutionize supply chain, and we hopefully get the chance to work with Y3 Technologies. Thank you very much.
So we can now proceed towards question and answer.
Okay, I think the first question I have is in terms of, you mentioned about gamification, right? And incentivizing folks down the chain or upstream to share data, right? How do you intend to do that?
How do we intend to do that? So are you talking about the business model in general or just like how operationally the business model, right? So we speak to a lot of brands, specifically in our case, we work with a lot of alcohol and beverage brands. And what they want to do is actually inject funds into the DropChain ecosystem. And then those funds we can actually strategically distribute across the supply chain. Obviously in a very, we have our algorithms for doing that. It's going to be dynamic, it has to be gamified, so it can't be static. So once you do that, people actually become more sticky with your system. So for instance, if you look at DD drivers, what makes them keep driving every day? It's not because they're earning 50 RMB per ride, it's because DD has found strategic ways, gamification patterns, to actually entice their drivers to keep driving and keep moving. So hey, at strategic times in the day, there's like, they'll make more money. Or at low points in the day, they'll make less money. And then close to the end of the day, they'll get a quick message saying, hey, if you do 2 more orders, I'll give you an extra 50 RMB. It's these little tiny, I would say, little twists that you can actually manipulate. I would say, I hate to use the word manipulate, but you can actually gamify an entire user experience, even for something as boring as supply chain. So,
So who funds this initial piece, right? You're saying that there's some fund that goes in. Yeah.
So brands. So if I talk to big brands like Heineken or AB InBev, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year dealing with counterfeit alcohol, parallel shipments, cross-border shipments, and for them, they're like, if you can actually create an ecosystem like this, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars doing that anyways. What's another 50? How much would you want me to give you to actually inject into your ecosystem to test how you can gamify this? It's I wouldn't say it's an easy sell, but there's definitely a lot of interest there from brands, and not only in alcohol. We've been talking with marketing companies, food companies. I can't give names specifically, but it turns out the misalignment in terms of incentives, it doesn't just exist in alcohol. It exists across multiple verticals of food chains out there.
One last question. I shouldn't be hogging this, but
I love it. It's great.
Is this something that is deployable immediately? And if so, is this a cross-border thing? Have you tested this, or is it still in development and conceptual stage?
I'm not checking my phone right now, I swear. Those wireframes I showed you earlier, I mean, those are wireframes. So, I mean, obviously, we really mean business. So, I mean, we do have something ready. And we're actually partnering with a couple alcohol brands to actually begin this pilot project. They came knocking and said, look, we need to fix this problem in our industry, and they're willing to partner with us. So it's great. And now we're starting with alcohol, we're gonna look at other verticals, but obviously in a very strategic manner. It can't be one-stop shop and just like trying to hit all verticals at once. That's
Okay.
what it looks like.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. So right now we'll be welcoming the second team from Lee Hao Ma. He's looking to gamify Dunkin Donuts marketing campaign. So let's welcome him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Hao Ma. Dunkin Donuts has a problem. In a time where coffee is extremely hot in China, Dunkin Donuts need to find new ways to stand out and create brand awareness around its coffee proposal and its donuts, and in the same time drive people to their stores. Dunkin Donuts is in fact much more a coffee chain than a donut chain, and that is something that we will work on. There were three things that make Dunkin Donuts stand out to its competitors, and these three things are the following things. First of all, Dunkin Donuts, the name, it's an engagement, an action. Dunk your donut in your coffee. It's like brother and sister and better together. That's engagement is what took our intention. Dunkin Donuts, a quality brand, but for affordable price. Many people are not aware of the amazing coffee that Dunkin Donuts has to offer, and that's a shame. Dunkin Donuts, a social place where fun is part of its DNA, and it comes with the big smile. That we also took as a very valuable thing to use further in our presentation to see how we could do something with this. In China, almost everybody plays games, and with the WeChat mini games, that trend became only bigger. We believe through gamification, we can help Dunkin Donuts to create brand awareness and in the same time drive people to their stores and convert them into sales. Let's have a look how that would work. Dunk That Donut, that's right. Dunk That Donut is a game that we created where people can dunk donuts in their coffee. This is a fun way to let people explore Dunkin Donuts, and in the same time, with this game, they can win points that they can convert into discounts or a gift. We believe that this engagement can help Dunkin Donuts further. But that's not only that. We also have seen that quizzes are a great way to create brand awareness around users and letting people know about the great brand awareness around a thing by rewarding people. But that's not all. If that reward is social, meaning if this is a gift that is for you and your friend, then that's a great way to drive traffic to stores. Because who wouldn't love to claim its reward and share it with its friend? The last game is a game based on luck. It's all about fun and creating a memorable experience. That's exactly what we do at Lee Hao Ma, trying to make people remember the brand. We think through gamification, Dunkin Donuts can stand out comparing to its competitors. That brings us back to 3, where we started. Dunkin Donuts, a place where engagement, fun, quality all come together in one solid story, brought through gamification. Dunkin Donuts, where these games can not only be on WeChat, Weibo, or any platform, but also can be part of your store, where people scan QRs when they sit on a table and can play a game and convert again in a sale or something else. That's the power of games today in China, how it can be part of your ecosystem into marketing. Our goals are ambitious. We try to get 3 times more engagement than classic advertising. We want to push 2 times more traffic and have 20 times more conversions. Of course, everything we do is based on data. Giving the brand data is a great way to understand through games what are they doing, what do their clients find fun, and how do they think. With this data, we can make better games and help the brand even create a better experience for their consumers. Thank you very much. That was Lee Hao Ma. You can scan my QR code if you are interested in gamification. Thank you.
Thank you. We can now move to the Q&A segment.
Hi, so we are basically a gamification company.
Yes, in fact, we are a marketing company using gamification as a way to convert people. Yes, that's what we do.
So basically, that's your solution for Dunkin Donuts. Actually, is trying to get them to do more gamification to increase their fan base. But have you done the analysis of what kind of customer they have been attracting and those that they should be attracting?
Right. So right now, if you look, for example, Dunkin Donuts comparing to Starbucks, for example, Starbucks has customer clients that are more business-minded and having a very different way of looking at things. They look at quality, they look, price is not so important for people who go to Starbucks, and where Dunkin Donuts attract much more young people that are interested in having fun with their customers. So the customer profile of Dunkin Donuts comparing to Starbucks is very, very different. In fact, they are not competitors because the target group is so different.
So am I right to say that you've identified the audience as a younger, more fun group, hence the approach to them is through games?
Well, we believe games is a great medium to help people to understand a brand because it's something where you engage with, and second of all, you help people to do something around your brand in another way than, for example, using a research article where you just need to be pushed information. And now we help you to engage with that media, and that's the power. We did that with many other brands like Nestle, Carrefour, and this is things that work. So whatever our solution brings is not just something that we think of, it's something that we have proven already, and that's where I believe that gamification will keep on growing in China.
Question is that, is this enough? Is this what it takes to actually change the perception of the brand of Dunkin in China?
Of course not. It's one element. Gamification is not the only element that will change the whole perception. I will agree with you, but it's definitely an important one. Right now, if you, for example, saw how WeChat mini games exploded, WeChat mini programs, what everybody talks about, never exploded in China. If you really look at the thing that really exploded in China was when the game Yi Jiao Yi came out there, the little thing that exploded. So gamification is something that is in the nature of people. If I give you something where you can engage with or something not engage with, you will quick choose the engaging one. That's the nature of people. So it's gamification uses a lot of psychologically thinking where we help people to think and engage them with these kind of things. So no, gamification is not the only way to help people. But in the end of the day, what does a brand want? It wants to convert into sales, and that's where gamification can help.
All right, thank you，李好吗？接下来是上海模范科技有限公司，让我们一起来看一看如何通过 AR/VR 创新技术，让盛誉集团在传统的地产行业也可以走向数字化，打造全新的客户体验。有请。
Very good afternoon, distinguished judges and fellow finalists, and ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon. I'm Wei Guo. Together with my partner, Jack, we are very happy to introduce to you how we use 3D scanning, modeling, and visualization technologies to solve a problem coming from Suvarna Jurong in terms of turning a traditional corporate brochure, very thick, nicely printed, killing a lot of trees, to a interactive, pervasive, and also immersive kind of digital experience to market, whether it's a project or new property anywhere around the world. So that's what we do. So we more fun technology in Shanghai. We have a setup in Singapore. So I'm based in Singapore, and our team is in Shanghai. So it's truly reflecting a collaboration between Shanghai and Singapore, very much to the theme of this collaboration of the Shanghai Singapore Business Forum. Right. So basically, the problem definition, as I mentioned, highlighted from Suvarna Jurong, was how do we create through social media interactive digital content for them. So we are about more fun lifestyle or more fun 生活 is an app that we are branding as a company that we try to use as the entry point to evolve, to get into any digital content that of the future that we will create for Surbana Jurong or for any other clients or customers. So we are about creating a augmented reality, AR or VR, virtual reality based social media marketing type of solution. So basically the challenge for sales marketing is we are very much moving into 3D and from a plain and flat type of media to a interactive with a mixed reality type of environment. So we have a couple of key concepts, which is about to essentially bring you to the scene with the new scenes that can be created, the context for sales marketing, and using mobile phones and devices so that remove the limitation of the heavy head-mounted display as the what virtual reality tend to use up till now, and really focusing on interactivity with 3D between yourself as a user with the space. So in the interest of time, I won't go into the details. So what we propose, I backtrack a little bit. The key capability of the company is threefold. One is using automated 3D scanning technology to build a model of an existing space like this, and then turn into an interactive digital media, and then be able to edit and in the back end, and then display through the mobile phones for the user to experience it from the mobile phone. So that's basically the couple of pieces that we do. So with that capability in mind, we propose to Surbana Jurong that we can create for their corporate digital brochures through a kind of a metaphor or kind of an entry point with a globe. So they are a truly global company present in 44 countries, 113 offices in 5 continents. So it's ideal to basically to use the globe as the metaphor to go into, to browse where their presence are, where their projects are, and putting through a timeline. So that's one of the concepts that we can do, put for them. I noticed the 1 minute, so I'll jump to the key points. So we have shown some capabilities that we have done with Chongqing, the Twins River district that we have done. So basically you can have different drill down through the 3D immersive interaction into different models through scanning or through CAD drawings. And then, so in order to bring people the concept of from one place to the other, so we use a hot air balloon kind of metaphor. Let's say, imagine we are doing an event here with selling a property in Singapore, showing a project in Singapore. So, okay, we can use the hot air balloon starting with Shanghai and bring people to Singapore to see what's going on. So that's a kind of an impressive, immersive type of capability to show. That's it. So basically, another key point to highlight at the end. So essentially, we can, with the model that you have built, like a Twin Tower that we have, and you can basically use the mobile phone, go to any space, and do your marketing.
时间已经到了，谢谢。
Thank you very much.
好，it's time for Q&A segment now. Thank you.
我想问一下，就类似的项目在国内有没有做过？然后一般它建模的一个时间，还有它的成本大概在多少？
Yeah, the question was whether we have done the project here in China and how much time do we take to build such a model. I will invite my partner Jack to answer that.
因为我们之前是在那个杭州，就是2022年就是承办亚运会的那个钱江新城，整个一个新区规划，我们就全部是用了这个方案，去给到客户一个呈现，就是用到手机移动端是很方便的一个呈现体验。还有一个是我们公司的核心技术就是快速建模，而且是自动化快速建模，所以说在时间上是在同行业里面是应该是最高效的是，就是看项目，就我举个例子，如果是我们去扫描整个陆家嘴的话，给我们团队的话，可能是仅仅就需要一周时间，我们就可以把整个陆家嘴给重现出来是。然后至于成本的话，其实我们目前的成本 因为是基于自动化，所以说在成本上是接近于就是我们说的那个类似于360这种扫描的这种360全景照相的这种技术的这个成本是应该说是行业里面是很低的，是对。
Is this your IP that has been developed, or you leverage on partners for the IP, both on the software as well as the mapping technologies and stuff like that?
Yeah, in terms of the intellectual property, we built on existing Apple ARKit platform that's published which is available on the mobile iPhone platform, and our creativity are coming from the scanning of the content itself, so that we generate model that's become part of our intellectual property. And then we develop the scripts that the interaction, the logic that how you can interact with the space, how you can bring a furniture or a piece of art into the space to interact to show the interaction and effect. So those scripts, those contents are our own intellectual property.
I think beyond the technology, because it seems that a lot of people has this kind of technology. So I want to see what can you propose as different for this so-called Sabana when you do your brochure for their customer. Because we don't want to just digitize a brochure, but
yes.
Really, can you have introduced something that's very different in terms of user experience and different so-called feeling in the use of the
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I think really the key differentiation that we bring compared to some of the VR that you probably have seen in the market, which is starting with just purely a surrounding picture 360, 720, which are pretty much taken with a few fixed stops, just give you a panoramic picture. What we are doing here is really building a fully interactive model. So it's kind of recreating the digital space with a true representation of the digital spatial information, so that you can really build it once and you can use it for many times by putting in different content. So it's truly modeled. That's the differentiation. So once you have a modeled space, you can really move into any location. You can generate a different view. So that's the difference between just purely a picture. Then the other, in terms of the user experience, since we have fully modeled it with different items, elements, whether big building or room or furnitures, or down to the article, the bottles on the water. So we can truly create a very different type of flexible user experience. So if Subrana Jurong want to really showcase how a city or district would interact, how the people, how the vehicles, etc. We can, since we model everything, we can do those modeling. Or if you want to show the inside the house, how the smart home living would be interacting between the user and the home, then that can be displayed. So in other words, in terms of the user experience, you can go down to different level of granularity. Thank you.
不好意思，时间已经到了。
Thank you.
Next up, we have Rikai Labs, and they will be tackling Dunkin Donuts problem statement using chatbot.
Hello, my name is Idan, and I'm with Rikai Labs. We've got Jane, Li Fang, and Regine over there. And the title of our presentation and pitch here is Coffee Meets Chatbot. The problem when we set out to look at this thing was that people don't know that Dunkin Donuts does coffee. And the secondary problem that we identified is that people don't know about and or download the Dunkin Donuts app. Why is this important? Well, when we went to the initial presentation that Dunkin put in front of us, we realized that they were very, very, very proud of the fact that they were #1 in terms of brand loyalty in the US. And so we sat there, we said, why is this the case? And as we did a little bit of research, we found out that this is based on the fact that a lot of people in the US download the apps because they get promotions, rewards, and they can order their coffee through there. But the problem is that China has a lot of these functionalities that are already built into WeChat or Alipay. And so, even though it's at the bottom, I apologize, the question that we set out to figure out is how do we get Chinese consumers to download the Dunkin Donuts app so we can try and build on repeatable success that Dunkin's had. So we went out there, we asked a couple of people. I'm not the target demographic. The target demographic is Chinese between 18 and 25. I am obviously not that. But basically, we went out there, we did some formal interviews with our team in our co-working space. We went to our network of people at NYU next door, and we asked them, which app do you spend most of your time? Are you willing to download a separate app? And how do you typically engage with brands? And overall, the kind of results that we got from people is WeChat in terms of where you spend most of your time. Are you willing to download? Not really. And how do you typically engage with brands? Typically, that was through Alipay and or WeChat official accounts. So we said we're a WeChat company, if you might not guess. There's a bunch of different ways that you can engage with people in WeChat. You can do it through the official accounts, which we have here on the left. And we've got these new mini programs that people are talking about that I'm sure many people know in terms of that. So WeChat is a place where people spend a lot of their time and effort. So what do we do at Rikai Labs? We use AI-powered conversation to engage and educate users within WeChat. And we do this all through conversation. I think that that's really the key to how we're going to be successful here. So we're going to use WeChat as a way to educate users about Dunkin Donuts, to incentivize them to download the app. And we're going to do that by engaging people in conversation, personalize a recommendation, and give away donuts, right? Free donuts, which you already do when you download the app. This is kind of the funnel of the way that we're looking at the typical user journey. The idea is they come in through a variety of different ways in WeChat. They can go through the official account or the mini program. They come into the Dunkin app. They download the app. They go to the Dunkin store, they buy something, and we want to circle this so that we can increase retention and drive sales. So basically what we're going to try to do here in terms of what the campaign, the initial campaign would be, we've partnered with another one of companies that we're friends with. They're called MyGin. And what they do is they run campus challenges. And so our idea is that we wanted to run a campus challenge with different campuses around China. And the idea is we're going to use donuts, which brings people into the store. And we found out that coffee is what people use to actually retain them at this store. So we're going to put these donuts all around campus, and in the middle of that donut, we're going to put a QR code that's going to link to a mini program. Once they enter that mini program, let me get out of the way here, we're going to chat with them in conversation. We're going to use a mini program, so they've got a nice flexible UI. So you come in here, you can find out more about the users using a variety of different buttons, pictures, and you can also get them to write specific things in there, text. At the end, we're going to give them a card that says, here is your Dunkin Donuts card for your free donut. And at this point, we're going to collect their phone number so that we can then send them a link so that they can then download the app directly from the store. This is kind of the hurdle in here, which is going to be, we can take care of. At the end, we're going to ask people to share it with their friends, because if we do a campus challenge and we find out which campus has the most downloads, we feel that we can incentivize a lot of users and be successful, driving a lot of sales, driving a lot of engagement. I missed the point. This thing is recommending your favorite coffee to go with the donut that you're going to download. I missed the whole point about the coffee. We want people to understand that we're going to recommend to you the type of coffee that's going to go best with your donut. So we have to understand what your user is going to be like and understand what they want to do. So here's just a little demo of how this thing we think is going to look. Oops. Can we run that? So basically, come in here. We've got these buttons at the bottom that you can hit. You can come in here different kinds of ways that we're getting people to actually engage with the bot. We haven't put any NLP in here just because, or AI, just because it's a demo. But we can throw more AI, more NLP to really get a rich understanding of what users want and what they like. You can see down here at the bottom, judges can see it, maybe not everybody else, but you can come in here, type in your phone number down here at the bottom. And at this point, this is where we actually will send you the text message with the link for you to download the app to your phone, which is really the kind of last mile, the hard part of this whole conversion.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid we are out of time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So let's open the judges for the Q&A. Thank you.
I think this is also a very customized solution. Is to actually increase the mind share. But did you identify the kind of customer that you should be targeting, or is actually broad-based?
So we identified through the brief that the target demographic was this kind of 18 to 25-year-old. These people who are a little bit more flexible. And so we kind of targeted at, when we did our informal interviews, we targeted at people at NYU and people who are in that 18 to 25-year-old time frame. I think that they're going through a rebranding, and it's certainly not my position to try to understand what the brand's potential new brand is going to be. But what we mostly wanted to do was demonstrate kind of the flexibility of our technology in this mini program Canvas.
Because I'm curious that if the age group is about 17 to 25, but your bear is like addressing himself as an uncle?
The bear is, yeah. So this is actually, in terms of customization, what we do is we have a recommendation engine that sits on top of our platform. The recommendation engine that we have here, basically, you can fill in your own content. And so we typically work with brands. The brands will go in there, fill in their content. If it's a bear or it's a donut or whatever the kind of logo is going to be, this is all kind of customizable. It can be done. Basically, you fill in a spreadsheet, we upload it to our bot, and it goes.
So this is just a prototype, right? Because if the ultimate decision is the uncle, I think could be slightly scary.
This is yeah, no, this is definitely, this is a prototype. This is just we saw Hackathon, so we put something together really quickly that we thought might be cute.
Cool. Thanks for that.
Now it's purely a WeChat platform, right? Can you envisage something beyond WeChat? That means, you know, especially in terms of an offline interaction, right? What would you recommend? Some other vehicles besides just using WeChat or leveraging WeChat, integrating to other types of vehicles?
Yeah, so I think there's two sides to that. The first side, WeChat has these QR codes. And I mean, Tencent itself is really trying to drive offline sales. They want you to use the WeChat wallet. And so the great thing about our platform is that we can generate unique QR codes in each store if you want to. So our idea rolling out here is that we want to be able to kind of put this in each store. Each franchisee can have their own little mini program where they can kind of engage their customer at a local level, but we can actually do this. It's a very scalable model because it's all built on top of technology. The other thing we can do is pull all of this data, push it into some sort of central CRM or other kind of repository so that Dunkin can eventually repeat the same success that they had with their app in the US.
I think the question I have is, how sticky is this app? I mean, I download Starbucks app too, but once a while, I probably forgot to do anything inside. So then there's no sales after that. So, yeah.
So our core thesis is that apps are not sticky at all, which is why we bet on WeChat. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that Dunkin was aware of the fact that they have an app. And so we wanted to, before we walked in there and said, your app stinks or no one's going to use it or anything like that, we wanted to kind of test it, make sure that, in fact, they'll get downloads. If they download it, there's no need to like rebuild the whole system within WeChat, keep the app available if it's going to be sticky. I don't know the stickiness of the app, but at least in this phase one, we're interested in driving people to the app to test it. We can do this in 2 months, 4 weeks to 4 to 8 weeks. We can roll this out very quickly. They can test it. They can see if it works. If it doesn't work, we can do a more integrated kind of WeChat approach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we've come to the end of all the presentations. And so right now we're actually gonna, in a while, we'll be inviting the judges to basically give pointers and review of how they actually felt about the presentations and the event as a whole. So who would like to go first? We actually want, it would be great if the judges can give some feedback and some reviews on the presentations as a whole, and also as the overall conduct of the event also. So.
Maybe I'll just go first. There's a marked difference between the open category and the student category. The student has actually gave a very good all-rounded solution from the identification of problems to the identification of the targeted solution, and actually it's more actually it's more broad-based. But for the open category, right, I think they are here with a dedicated solution, which I think is also one way of looking at this hackathon, which I thought it opens quite a good perspective. The open category has really has a workable business model a solution has been proven and it's actually targeted at the case study that they could actually address. So I think it's actually quite a refreshing observation from the open and the student category.
Actually, I'm impressed by the student category, the deliverables, the details, those actual, those proposal solution which can be executed. That's upside. The downside is in most cases they forgot to estimate the potential market size they are going to address. That's why I asked about the market share, the sales revenue. So all those ideas are very brilliant, creative. But at the end of the day, to help the company to grow business. So if they can add on the sales revenue estimation, market share, you can see that would be better.
Everybody. Okay, so I think I agree. You know, students, nice broad-based thinking, right? A lot of ideation, fantastic. I think the ideas coming in. For some of the startups or some of the open category, some technologies were definitely very interesting, right? But you know, because it came in with point solutions, right? It is a part of the puzzle, not the entire puzzle itself.
For me, I think for the students category, I would say in general, the quality of the presentations are not too bad. I think for students to be able to come up with a solution to a complex problem, a real problem, and to be able to present it, I think it's not too bad. It's pretty good, I would say. And also in terms of the presentation, some of them are quite interesting. You know, it should demonstrate a lot of passion. For the startups, I think the startups, I think they definitely have demonstrated a more in-depth understanding to the solution and the problem itself. So, but I do hope that some of them can so-called think beyond what's been communicated there. I think that would be more important because the problem statement is probably two-pointed. So I think in order to really be the top guy, you probably have to show that you have helped to think beyond this problem statement. So I encourage projects to think through this. Of course, it's not the fault of the project if they're not thinking beyond this.
Okay, so first of all, I'd really like to congratulate all the teams for making it up to here, going through the whole process, and more importantly, to be able to deliver something tangible. Because I mean, if you read the briefs that these companies deliver, I mean, the judges were talking about them earlier, and some of them are really very generic. They're very difficult to understand. So the fact that both students and startups were able to extract something tangible out of here, to be able to create and propose a specific solution, I think that itself is already a very good thing. So from that point of view, in terms of the event, I think this is a really good opportunity for brands to get some ideas coming from outside. But when you ask the wrong questions, you're going to have potentially the wrong answers, or at least not the answers that you're expecting. So that would be one of the comments. The other comment is about creativity and innovation. So everybody thinks, or a lot of people think that the key ingredient for creativity, for innovation, is always creativity. And we saw a lot of the presentations here. And if there was a pattern that I could see in thinking about a positive pattern in the presentations of the students, was that they were all quite creative. I mean, they were very new concepts. They really went beyond, and they thought farther than what you can see today. But the contrast with the presentations of the existing, the real startups that are developing a business was reality. Sometimes the ROI, it's actually very important. When you're thinking about solving a problem, it's not just about solving a problem in terms of features. I mean, can I get this problem solved? Can I get this problem solved in budget and on time? And I think that would be probably the main difference that I saw between the two presentations.
那个今天有幸来参加黑客松大决赛，看到了比较好的项目，我们也希望新加坡这些项目能到张江，就是国家的科创中心过来，能来张江的孵化器能落地。 我们张江有很多资本方希望这些项目来张江来路演，我也希望张江和我们新加坡商会会有更多的合作。谢谢大家。
Thank you, judges. Let's give a round of applause for the judges. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've seen the presentations, and now the time you guys been waiting for is the prize presentation. So the first prize we'll be giving away is the prize for the Best Presentation Award. So the Best Presentation Award goes across all our presenters today, and we not only focusing on the delivery and the presentation itself, but how, to what degree they were able to captivate both the judges and the audience yourself. So for that, firstly, can I invite Dr. Tan Eng Han on stage, please? Okay, so the winner of the Best Presentation Award is, let's go!
好，那么接下来我们即将颁发的是学生组的前3奖，季军将获得2000元人民币的现金奖。
Okay, so next up, now we're going to present the third place for the student category. So the third place goes to Wildcats. All right, awesome. Great job, guys. Okay, now for the second place winner who will be walking away with a $5,000 RMB cash prize. The second place goes to Let's Go. Awesome. Thank you so much.
好，那么接下来我们要颁发的就是万众瞩目的学生组冠军了，他们将获得1万元的人民币现金奖，他们就是
Team Glazed. Awesome. All right, guys, don't leave stage first. So, share a bit how you feel that you're the winner.
I think it's really amazing because when we first came together, we didn't know each other at all. So we spent like 2-3 days working through the day. And our journey to Shanghai was very eventful. So we kind of stood all the way from Beijing to Shanghai because we couldn't get the tickets, and then we had to buy from Huangniu. So we stood all the way to Shanghai. So we're very happy that our efforts paid off in the end. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations again. Okay, so that concludes the student category. So now we'll be moving on to the corporate side, the startup category. So Firstly, can we please invite Mark Dragon on stage, please? Thank you, Mark. Okay, so for the open category, third place goes to Rika Labs.
You'll be walking with a cool 10,000 RMB cash prize.好，那么接下来我们将颁发亚军，他们将获得2万元人民币的奖金。第2名就是
Drop Chain. All right, guys, so last but definitely not least, the overall winner for today, first place, none other than Morfine.
他们将获得4万元人民币的奖金。好，请两位留步，可以分享一下此时此刻的心情吗？
Well, thank you very much, all the judges and all the participants. So it's really a bit pleasant surprise. I flew all the way from Singapore, so it was worth the trip, and I really enjoyed the hackathon.
谢谢这次活动给我们一个机会，展示我们公司的整个一个团队的一个项目是，也希望就是未来可以有机会更多的是跟新加坡的团队多多交流是，谢谢。
Awesome, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. All right, so now we have concluded the prize presentation, but our judges here today have really helped us, giving value to the people who participated in it and helping us choose who actually won. So as a form of appreciation, we would like to give the judges a small token. Judges, could I kindly invite you to the stage, please? Okay.
Judges, please remain on stage.
Oh, they want to remain on stage. Recording. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Judges, please remain on stage. We're going to do something really interesting. Can I invite everybody in the venue to please get yourself on the stage? We're going to take a mass picture right now. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on. Let's come. Everybody. All right, guys, don't be shy. Just get on stage. No worries. Don't be shy.